I just bought the world's most dangerous biker bar.
Give me the strongest stuff you got, video boy.
All right. Think you can handle a Feastables creamy peanut butter cup?
Peanut butter cup, peanut butter cup. Say that to my face if you think you're so tough. Peanut butter cup, peanut butter cup. Say a word to me, I'll stuff your teeth up your butt. Peanut butter cup, peanut butter cup. Say that to my face if you think you're so tough. Peanut butter cup, peanut butter cup. Say a word to me, I'll stuff your teeth up your butt.
So after that, you wasn't such a tough guy anymore.
One time, I had 100 people, ages 1 through 100, fight for 250 grand.
That's dark, man.
Peanut butter cup, peanut butter cup. Say that to my face if you think you're so tough. Peanut butter cup, peanut butter cup.
Hey, do you guys have a bathroom?
Peanut butter cup, peanut butter cup.
Because nothing says tough like peanut butter cup. The brand new Liquid Death Feastables collab is available everywhere. Go give it a try.
The biker bar door creaks open, and for a second nobody moves. Cigarette smoke hangs in the air. Leather jackets. Tattooed knuckles wrapped around beer bottles. This is the kind of place where soft drinks go to die, where healthy is a curse word and sparkling water gets you laughed out of the room before you even finish the sentence. And into this room walks a 28-year-old billionaire in a hoodie, carrying a 12-ounce can like it's a loaded weapon. His name is Jimmy Donaldson. The world knows him as MrBeast, and he's about to attempt something that, on paper, sounds almost suicidal, convincing the toughest, most skeptical crowd in America that peanut butter cup-flavored sparkling water is the drink of champions. But to understand how we got here, to this bar, to this moment, you have to rewind. You have to go back to where this story really begins, not with a business deal, but with an idea so strange that even the people who dreamed it up had to ask themselves, is this genius or is this madness? 7 years ago, a canned water company called Liquid Death showed up and did something nobody expected. It took the most boring product on the planet, water, and turned it into something that felt dangerous. Skulls on the can, death metal branding, a cult following that had nothing to do with hydration and everything to do with attitude, and over time, that attitude turned into an appetite for chaos. Liquid Death started collaborating on flavors nobody asked for and nobody could forget. Cereal milk, hot fudge sundae, a tea that tasted like a Pop-Tart had been set on fire. Every time the internet said the same thing, there's no way this actually tastes good, and every time people bought it anyway just to find out. So, when Liquid Death needed a partner wild enough to top all of that, there was only one name that made sense. MrBeast didn't just build the biggest channel on YouTube by playing it safe. He built an empire by doing the things everyone else said were impossible, burying people alive with warning, giving away private islands, building wells for millions of people who'd never had clean water in their lives. He turned that same relentless ambition into Feastables, a chocolate brand that clawed its way onto store shelves against candy giants that had been around for a century. And somewhere in a boardroom, someone looked at Feastables peanut butter cups and looked at Liquid Death's lineup of unhinged flavors and asked the question that changes everything. What if we put them together, not as a snack, not as a drink, as both at once in something nobody had ever tasted before? The result is called Liquid Death x Feastables Peanut Butter Cup-Flavored Sparkling Water. And if that name feels like a mouthful, wait until you hear what's actually inside the can. 10 calories, 2 grams of sugar, no artificial sweeteners. And despite tasting like a peanut butter cup, it's completely allergen-free. No actual nuts anywhere near it, which means the people who've spent their whole lives staring longingly at peanut butter treats they could never touch can finally take a sip of what they've been missing. It sounds like it shouldn't be possible. A drink that tastes indulgent, but isn't. A treat that thinks it's a health product. A contradiction packed into aluminum. But contradictions are exactly what get people talking, and that's the whole game here. Because this was never just about the drink. It was about the story wrapped around it, and that story needed a stage dramatic enough to match the absurdity of the product itself. Which brings us back to the bar. In the ad that reveals the collaboration, MrBeast doesn't launch this drink at a press conference or a trendy pop-up. He buys a biker bar, reportedly the most dangerous one he could find, and walks in among the exact kind of crowd built to hate everything this product represents. These are not people who drink sparkling water. These are not people who care about calorie counts. And for a moment, the tension in that room feels real, like the whole stunt could collapse the second someone cracks open a can and spits it right back out. Then it happens. Cans open. Suspicious eyes narrow. And one by one, the toughest crowd MrBeast could find starts to soften, won over by a flavor combination that has no business working as well as it does. By the end of the spot, the joke lands perfectly, delivered in a single closing line that sums up the entire absurd genius of the campaign. Nothing apparently says tough, quite like a peanut butter cup. It's funny, it's strange, but underneath the humor is something sharper, a marketing instinct that understands exactly how the internet works in 2026. You don't win attention by being safe. You win it by being unforgettable, by creating a moment so bizarre that people can't help but share it, argue about it, and try it themselves just to see who's right. And that's the real story hiding inside this launch. It isn't really about peanut butter cups or sparkling water, or even about Liquid Death's endless hunger for the next unhinged flavor. It's about two brands that grew up breaking the rules of their industries, finally colliding to break a few more together. Liquid Death turned bottled water into a cultural statement. MrBeast turned online video into a global empire built on doing the unthinkable. Put those instincts in the same room, and you don't get a quiet, forgettable product launch. You get a can that dares you to doubt it. The drink is limited edition, which means the clock is already ticking. It's rolling out through Amazon and select retailers, including chains like 7-Eleven and Five Below, but only while supplies last. And if the pattern holds from Liquid Death's past collaborations, while supplies last might mean gone before most people even hear about it. So somewhere out there right now, in bars and gas stations and living rooms, people are cracking open a can they've never tried before, bracing for something to go wrong. A flavor combination too strange to trust. A drink built on a joke that shouldn't have worked. And yet, can after can, it does. Maybe that's the real lesson buried underneath the marketing stunt and the viral ad and the biker bar full of skeptics turned believers. The wildest ideas, the ones that sound like they're destined to fail, are sometimes the only ones daring enough to actually break through the noise. Somewhere between a chocolate brand fighting for shelf space and a water company that made rebellion its entire identity, something unexpected got made. Something that shouldn't taste right, but does. Something that shouldn't work, but is already spreading can by can, sip by sip, proving that sometimes the boldest bet is the only one worth making.